Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another session with the older man. Today, we're going to hit on that one simple topic, my friends. I need a man. I need a man. Well, not me. We're going to examine these women who are screaming for a man. Listen, guys, man, we're in a serious space when it comes to dating, you know? A lot of women are now starting to feel it, really feel it. I'm telling you guys, Mr. Kevin Samuels called it before he passed. Winter is coming. Well, winter is here. And the thing is, it doesn't go from hot to cold. It's a slow, gradual downturn. And I'm saying this about the dating market and the economy, because two of these things are synonymous. When shit hit the fan, that's when women know they need a man. So we're going to dive a little deeper into this, because we're going to listen to women right now bawling because they need a man. But before we continue, you know what I'm going to ask? Hit that like button. Please hit the old like button. You don't even have to subscribe if you don't want to. You should, and turn on the notification bell, but hit the like button. That's all I ask. Takes nothing from you. Okay? And of course, if you want to book a session, go over to askanolderman.com. And of course, join the membership site so that we can get you on board for our upcoming membership program starting shortly. So let's get into the first video. This is what the young girls are saying when daddy's trying to convince him.
All right, girl, I'm going to show you how to change the tire, because you don't need a man in your life.
Yeah.
No se den creyendo que you need a man in your life, eh?
Yeah, Dad. I need a man.
Why do you need a man? I'm going to show you so you won't need one.
I need one and I want one.
He's trying to show you something.
The young girls are waking up. I am loving it. The young girls are waking up. Of course, that's way too young, right? We don't need them to wake up that young. But hey, she got the right attitude right there. Oh, I hope she keeps that same train of thought and understand the principles of how to keep herself valuable to a man. That is the important part. What value are you bringing to a man? Yes, of course, I teach my daughters how to change that tire as well, right? I'm teaching them how to drive. I'm teaching them how to change a tire. Yes, of course. But he should never say, so you don't need a man. He should have said, so that if you are in a situation where you don't have someone to help you, you know how to do it yourself. I'm teaching you this so that you know that if a man tries to rip you off by telling you some stupid thing about the tire and charging you extra, you know that that's not the right way. Okay? These are the self-defense mechanisms a father should teach his daughter. And every woman should know that. Just like I know how to cook and clean, my daughter should know how to change a tire. Yes, there's some physical things that it's really hard for them to do. I still want them to know how to do it. Get my point? Listen, so don't condemn this man for now teaching his daughter how to change a tire. The reason he's teaching her it should be examined. Because don't ever tell a woman she don't need a man. That is where we're screwing up with the younger generation. That's what feminism have done. This woman explains the father's role quite clearly. I like how she put it together. Just have a listen.
To prepare his children for the real world.
Yeah.
So that's the direction. I'm going to prepare you so that when you move to the world, transit into the world, it is a smooth transition.
Yeah.
You're not shocked. So it's not the environment of home is different than the world. We're going to create at home, and I'm going to show you at home what the world really is like. So the father, is usually associated with tough love. He's a kind man, he's a loving man, he's a working man, but it's tough love. Tough love because he's going to tell you, I love you, son, but you can be better. I love you, son, but that was wrong, and you got to take responsibility for it.
Yeah.
Why? Because that's how the world is.
Yeah.
If you don't do your chores at home, mommy's going to forgive you. At work, you're going to get fired.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, the world is not mommy.
Yeah.
So I was having this conversation with a friend, and we're speaking about that. The masculine is weakened and the feminine is overpowered. So the whole women power, whatever. I'm just like, we got too much power. We got to chill a little bit. We need nature to balance itself out again. Which means men need to step into their power. And their power means I am now stepping into responsibility. Masculinity and responsibility goes hand in hand. So a boy becomes a man when he's responsible for a group or another.
Absolutely.
She's cooking. She is cooking. Whoo! The bottom line is that men have to step in is the only part that I'm a little iffy about. Because the problem that we currently have is that a lot of men have been raised by mothers, single mothers. So the generation of men are working with very little tools to combat the system that is also put in place to keep him in a feminine position. From the marital laws, the legal system, the divorce court, to the DIA, the hiring responsibilities, to the messages pumped to freaking women every day about how amazing and how great and how powerful they are. Everything. The colleges are not conducive to men. It's conducive and geared towards female learning. The high schools, the majority of teachers in high schools are women, 80% of them. So the man is constantly surrounded by female energy from birth right through until he hits the real world. And then you tell that boy he has to be a man? It's impossible. So the man is fighting an uphill battle. So all I can say to you, gentlemen, is that you need to find other men. Get that male energy back in you, man. Because she does have a point. No one is coming to save you, so you got to save yourself. That is the best advice I can give you. You need to get out there and do it. Be around other men. Get advice from other men. Break that freaking link between you and your mother, you and your school teachers, your female school teachers, your college educators. You need to break that link that tells that where the world have told you that women are the ultimate power. She said it. Women have way too much power because when they reach this age, you don't want her to be this woman.
I need a man. Yep. I need a man. Yep. I need a man. I had to call my daddy today and ask him to help me with some money to pay my bills. And it was funny because he knew what I wanted just by the tone of my voice. So he starts messing with me.
Why do you think he was messing with you? If you are in your late 40s right now, that means your dad will probably be in his 70s, 80s, close to 80 years old. This man don't have a lot of disposable income. So he's not messing with you, you overgrown child. He's not messing with you. This is a man that needs every single dime so that he could get to the end of life. Because if he has a deadbeat daughter who has to keep coming back for him to help maintain her and her stupid mistakes, all I can say, my friend, you are a deadbeat daughter. Because you made some dumb mistakes if you have to go back to your father at this age for money. But let's proceed.
And pretty much starts telling me about all his bills. Because he knew I was calling to ask for some money to pay my bills. He was like, oh, sounding like me, pitiful. Oh, well, all this money I done put out this month, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
This woman laughing at her aged father who's actually worrying about his money. Jesus, man. I feel the pain listening to this. I feel pain listening to this.
Stop playing with me. You already know why I'm calling. You already know what I want. Stop playing with me. Anyway, he made me beg for it, y'all. Yep, he made me beg for it. I would much rather be begging a man for it. Begging him for it. Yeah, I could pay my own bills, but I want him to do it.
Wow. So she could pay her own bills, but she goes back to her father to beg him for his money with his fixed income, probably just coming from Social Security or, his little retirement fund, because that's going to be an old man that's not going to be making more and more money. He's not going to have reoccurring income coming in. She could pay her own bills, but I want him to pay for it. A lot of these modern women literally hate men so bad that they actually hate their own father, their own flesh and blood. This is another reason when women like this, a lot of them treat their sons like crap. That's a whole other video. I don't want to get into that. But this is just painful to watch and listen to, you know? And the thing is, she don't even see it just because it's a man.
That didn't age well. But anyway, I need a man so I don't have to call my daddy to pay my bills. My man, I already have it handled. Call me.
Holy crap. Gentlemen, you run. You run. Don't walk away from that. You sprint, full on sprint when you see something like this coming near you, man. Okay? Wow. So I just decided to go to her comment section and see what the men are saying. Hey, fine girl. Next guy. Here I am, sweeties. Ibrahim. I need a woman too. Hearts. Zion Ojas says, you're beautiful and special. Rich kid. Hi, beautiful. Jesus. There is no hope for the dating market with the massive amount of simps sitting out there. The simp game is freaking hot, man. And you know where these simps come from, right? All the single mothers who created these men. This woman just told you point blank. She showed you the worst part of herself. I need a man. I apparently can pay for my bills, but I went back to my father, my aging father, to suck money from him. These are not good qualities, but these men are still there saying, hi, yeah, I'm here for you. Shit. I hope none of my followers will ever step foot in that, because I can tell you, man, that's a disaster waiting to happen. So I followed up. I went to her page over on TikTok, and what do I find? She's going to do a long rant here. I'm going to fast forward it to the most crucial part, okay?
I have 4 children, 3 of which are females, 3 girls and 1 son. And I chose not to have a man around my children. Now, in the beginning, when they were younger, I was a little flimsy with the people I let in and out of my life. Now, not so much as living with or...
Oh, she just drags this out too long. I can't take the slow speech. You guys can go over to her page and watch it if you want. But she pretty much just said that she went through some childhood trauma with her mother. Her mother, who was a single mother, who had her as a female, as a child. And it seems like her mother's lovers or stepfather did something to her when she was younger. So she chose not to have a man in the house right now with her 4 daughters. She don't want to pass that generational curse on. So she's waiting for her last daughter to reach 18, which is happening in the next month. Now she's looking for a relationship like this. Wow. So she's been out of the relationship market for that long. I don't know when the last man left the house, but either way, her relationship skills are clearly dull as hell. Because if she can come online and tell other men that, hey, I'm asking my father for money, my aging father for money, when I could actually pay the same bills simply because I don't want to pay those bills. I prefer a man to do it. You tell me if that's a good catch. Wow. Anyway, let's go on to the next one, because I'm just showing you, my friends, the dating market has shrunk significantly, ladies. I've had a heated debate with, Katrina, the relationship and sex therapist that was on the show 2 days ago. We've been having some communication and talking back and forth about, the way we look at relationships. I am basically coming at her from a man's perspective and simply putting a lot of facts forward, telling her that, listen, more men are becoming red pill. More men are waking up and realizing that there's no benefit to them in marriages and relationships in today's day and age, because simply most women these days are just looking at men as a wallet. And she's rejecting a lot of these principles. Simply, she's saying, that's my point of view. Now, that's most women's playbook. Whenever they can't win an argument, right, they tend to put it back into personal perspective. Of course, that was followed up with, well, the men that I have met are not like that. In other words, it blows my mind that a therapist who's supposed to look at things from a wide perspective actually discuss things from a personal point of view. Because that's not how the world works. But she just pretty much following the same playbook that every single modern woman follows. They think that they are the main character in every facet of life. In other words, if it didn't happen to them, it didn't happen. If it didn't happen to them and they didn't experience whatever we're discussing, it cannot be so. In other words, men, we shouldn't talk in general terms. And it's just mind-blowing that we have to come to that point where I have to explain that. You cannot look at the world based on your experience. I don't. Yes, I use a lot of my experiences because I have a vast amount, but I also have to look at the world in general terms in order to come to a conclusion. But women have a very, very, very hard time doing that. They tend to look at everything through their lens and their lens only. And it blows my mind. Ever since I got into this space, I have had to look outside myself to understand and the dating dynamics. I've been married for 20 years. I have to look at how people are dating on the outside. I have to. Because I haven't dated in 20 years. That's the reality of it. So in order for me to talk to you about dating, I have to understand it. I have to talk to many, many people on both sides, how they address dating. I have to examine it. I cannot educate you and talk to you from my experiences alone, because a shitload of things have changed in 20 years. Women are not the same. Women 20 years ago are not the women they are today. Because he knows it's all about the wallet for him.
I am absolutely convinced that men don't actually want relationships. Like, men want their lives as is. They want to go about their day exactly as it is, do whatever they would normally do, and just want somebody there when it's convenient for them, or, you know, for the things they want to do. Like, convince me I'm wrong.
Yes, you're perfectly right. Because women do not show men any value beyond opening their legs, and that's it. Western women have degraded themselves so much is that their value is simply an exchange. I'll give you money, you give me panani. And men have literally ground you down to your most basic, the most basic, non-valuable. I mean, there's no value to a panani anymore. Men don't want you to have their kids. That's how bad the dating market have dropped. Women are waking up and realizing it now. You're going to see more and more and more of these videos online. The year 2030, remember, was it Goldman Sachs or Morgan Stanley? You know the study. By the year 2030, almost 40% of women will be single and childless by the year 2030. And that's the women in marriageable and childbearing age. And you have to realize, ladies, that's only 6 years away. So that means if you're 35, you're going to be 41, meaning your childbearing years are going to be done. You're not going to be even included in that statistic. The younger girls who are in childbearing years, they're the ones that are going to be single and childless. That is not something to take lightly. We're talking about you need a man now? Men have woken up. The games are over, my friend. Men are going overseas, or men are just saying no more. We're not interested. The product that we have in the West isn't worth it. I hate to bring you the bad news, but this is the reality of it. This one lady here understands it very well.
Men are giving up on dating. And one of the reasons why is because of women's expectations. One of the main reasons why women have such unrealistic expectations is because of social media, and let me tell you why. So women are often fueled by what they see on social media. It seems like everywhere you look online, there are images of perfect couples, luxury, exotic vacation, lavish gifts, and this is very, very toxic because this is not even real. It's just social media. And these things create an unrealistic standard for women because they expect that from a partner. And men feel like they need to be wealthy or constantly shower women with gifts to be able to measure up. And it's a lot of pressure. It can leave men thinking that they'll never be able to meet these expectations. And as a result, men are just giving up on dating because they feel like they can compete against those fantasy relationships that we see online. And I think it's very, very dangerous because it can lead to self-esteem issues as men feel like they're never gonna be good enough. And this can result in anxiety, depression. So yeah, it's a very, very concerning problem.
I heard no lies there, my friend. It doesn't get any more complex than that. Men are competing against a fantasy that females created in their own head about the type of men that they should have. I don't want to repeat the whole 666 narrative, but you get what I mean, gentlemen. You know, some of this information you guys hear over and over and over again, but I do get a lot of new subscribers quite regularly, and a lot of them are still not sure about what I'm talking about. So sometimes I feel like, you know, I don't even have to say it because you guys should know it, because a lot of you have been following me regularly. But in reality, most of you know the red pill concept. Women's expectations are just way out of line, and men are not jumping through those hoops anymore. That is the reality of it. I just want you to understand that when I am bringing you knowledge, I am not only just bringing it to you based on my vast experience with women, because I had more general blue pillish knowledge back in my day. I grew up with 5 sisters, but I had a father who kept me on the right path and made me understand, hey, son, if you follow that type of knowledge, if you follow that pathway, women are going to rip your heart out. And he was right. But I had to get my heart ripped out a few times for me to understand that, hey, what he said was correct. The other day, the woman put a comment in that, oh, you must have been hurt because you sound like you have been hurt by women because that's how you talk about women. Lady, listen, every single man has been hurt who has dipped his freaking toes in the relationship pool. That is what we endure. That is what men go through. Men go through a shitload of rejection from the time he's asked that first Becky out or Shanae back in high school, from the day he asked her out to the dance, the prom, whatever, the movies, and she said no, that's when men were getting rejected. Women don't get rejected. So men have a shitload of experience with getting rejected. And what do we learn? We learn to build a thick skin around female rejection. That's when the pain starts. Eventually, guess what? We become much more thick-skinned. We keep persevering. We start into the dating market. We get knocked down. We know that it's a numbers game. If we're trying to get laid, we know that we got to keep asking, pushing, rejection after rejection, until that fat chick around the corner, when we're a young teen, decides that, yeah, she's going to give it up because she knows that she don't have that many options. And you know what? He have a go at it. That ugly buck-teeth girl, he have a go at her. Eventually, he hones his skills. He hits the gym. He starts to get better and better looking. And you know what? He upgrades. He makes a little bit of money. He now knows that he got some money to actually take a few girls out on a higher caliber. He's going to get rejected because he's going to keep pushing. He's going to keep asking for those women that are a little out of his league, because that's what men do. We always have to push the envelope. We need to see what our number is. Are we a 5, 6, 7, 8? Most men know that they're not freaking 10s. We know that the higher the woman that we can get, it is what those women consider us valuable, and vice versa. For all you women who think that you're 10s, but you're not getting 10 results, then that's not your number. That's not your freaking number. So all of you who going on about, oh, I'm an 8, I'm a 9.5, oh, I'm a 9, I'm an 8, I'm an 8. And you're getting those guys to knock you out, just drill you, pound that pee, and then ghost you in the next 2 days, you know that's not your number. That was not your caliber of man. So then you should never push yourself for that caliber of man. But a female brain is so freaking conditioned to think, oh, my value is in my pee. And if that cat is getting the results from a 9 or 10 man, I must be a 9 or 10 girl. It doesn't work that way for women. It is the man who gets on his damn knees and put a ring on it and says, okay, that is your value. But if you don't give the man on your level the opportunity to put a ring on it, you will end up old, decrepit, and sitting there going, Where all the good men gone? I need a man. Oh, daddy, I need daddy. Blows my mind. So guys, listen, I want to keep this one short. I just wanted to just highlight this woman because it shows you one very basic thing. Women get old chronologically, but they very rarely grow up. They're still freaking kids, girls. That's how they act. They need to run back to their parents for help. They need to run back to mommy and daddy. Tell me I'm wrong. All right, my friends, listen. That's my lesson for today. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Log in to askanolderman.com if you would like to book a session with the older man. Okay? So until next time, my friends, remember, whenever in doubt, always ask an older man. See you in the next one. Cheers.